What's up, guys? It's our wrestling podcast coming back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious along with Justice on Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic: Great American Bash 1991 review. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel, and look to your left for several other video options. And please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019. Sorry for the lapse. I could have sworn somebody was going to try to interrupt me because it happens almost every title announcement. And, and it got real quiet. I was like, what?
Heavy accusation.
And there was absolutely nothing on the other end, and I apologize. You guys...
You're just not professional.
Let me go.
Yeah, we're goddamn professionals. Okay, you're the unprofessional here.
So, God damn it, man! Like, I've waited to an what do I always say? I want to wait till like an even anniversary, like an anniversary that ends in a 5 or a 0. And 35 years ago, WCW, against their will, gave birth to the shittiest pay-per-view of all time. And for the longest time, Great American Bash 91 was considered the worst WCW pay-per-view ever. Now, Uncensored 95, very close. Starrcade 94, very close. And then everything in 2000, probably worse. But like, the reason why this one holds, it's because this was rock bottom. Really quick, without getting too long-winded, this was rock bottom for them. After Turner bought them, Jim Herd slowly took them down the fucking toilet. And 2 weeks before this show, which had the advertised main event as the final match between Lex Luger and Ric Flair for the WCW Heavyweight Championship in a steel cage, Ric Flair walks out of the company 2 weeks before, failing to come to terms with Jim Herd, and they both say, fuck you, no, I said fuck you, no, I said fuck you, and then Flair walks out with their fucking belt and shows up the next month in August.
Gold, baby.
Shows up in August on WWF television with the big gold belt at the time, the NWA/WCW Heavyweight Championship. Already in 1991, the NWA was parting ways with them, which it should have, because NWA was a joke at that point. There was really no territories anymore, so what was the point? So this kind of forced the hand of WCW to start calling their champions the WCW US Champion, the WCW Tag Team Champions, WCW Heavyweight Champion. So this kind of forced their hand to do that, even though literally, technically Ric Flair was the first ever WCW Champion, because they had already parted ways with NWA slightly before this show. But Flair walking off 2 weeks before, them scrambling and having to come up with a number one contendership match in the steel cage, with ended up being Barry Windham and Lex Luger. You know, look, we could say what we want about Lex Luger. The time that they actually were going to book him to go over on Flair, Flair's like, and I'm out. And so Lex didn't even get the proper crowning that like he really deserved, I think, at this point. Like, they gave Sting a try. They gave everything. And Luger had been feuding with Flair for the last 3 years, having matches, coming so fucking close, like, but never doing it. And the match here. And then on top of... Go ahead,
Not to linger too far on the Ric Flair going to WWF at the time, but I have this weird memory, Justin, maybe you can confirm it for me, where Bobby the Brain Heenan was literally on, I want to say it was Saturday morning, or maybe it was even
where he carried the belt before they saw Flair's face. And he just showed up holding the belt. Yes.
He's like, this is the prestige.
Yep.
And he'll work the belt. That wasn't their belt.
Vince had the hardest penis, like, when all those vignettes were being shot. There's no way he did it. Like, and how it didn't kill them here, only because Ted Turner kept opening up his wallet, did WCW not fold at this point.
Sure.
This was rock bottom for them. On top of that, Jim Herd, and I'll let you guys speak. Sorry, I'm not trying to hog the limelight, but
I wanted to bring it back in. I just remember that. I remember that moment of Bobby holding that title.
Yes.
Sorry.
You are correct, though, with that. Yes, you saw what you remember. Like, it's not Mandela effect.
Okay, I'm not making it up. Okay.
And this was rock bottom in so many different ways, because Herd, for the last 2 years, had just depleted their fucking thing. So here's the deal. I hate Jim Herd. I hate everything he did. But the thing is like, Turner hired him because he was an executive. He knew numbers. He knew how to try to balance sheets, right? if you don't know pro wrestling, you're just never going to succeed. So he came in and just said, okay, we're losing tons of money. I want to see my top 10 highest contracted wrestlers. And then he looked at them and he saw like Legion of Doom. How much are they making? That's way too fucking much. Ric Flair, how much is he making? That's way too fucking much. And Midnight Express, how much are they making? That's way too fucking much. Lex Luger, Sting, how much? That's way too fucking much. And so what he did was he was just basically putting the pressure on them to renegotiate for lower amounts. And Flair didn't want to have it. He ended up getting the Midnight Express, the Road Warriors, when they came to renewal. They were just like, we want this money. He's like, look, and he's not wrong in what I'm about to say right now. If you were hired and you didn't know anything about pro wrestling and you were just told to control the budget, your first thing is going to be what he did. Give me your top 10 highest paid fucking talent. Like, and then look at that. So we're not moving the needle now. The ratings are dropping, attendance is bad, and we currently have the Road Warriors, Ric Flair, Sting, Luger, Midnight Express. I'm going to go to them and be like, I need to cut your shit by 40%. Like, we're not making any money with you. So in his mind, he was like, well, we're just going to copy Vince. We're going to make the Master Blasters. That looks like the Road Warriors, right? We're going to make PN News. That's like a WWF character, right? We're going to get Johnny B. Bad. That's like a WWF character, right? He knew nothing about pro wrestling. So that's what he had been doing for the last 2 years. He had been slowly putting pressure on all the vets, just being like, we're sucking with you. So why the fuck would I give you more money like on your new contract? Which is correct if you're looking at it from a business wise, but from a pro wrestling wise, he just ruined everything. Like he fucked everything up. He let LOD just walk straight into Vince. They signed with Vince in 1990. Flair walked out 2 weeks before the show. Midnight Express just said, fuck you. Jim Cornette and them were like, fuck you. Bobby Eaton had to stay because he had a wife and a kid, but Stan Lane and Cornette are like, suck my dick. And they just fucking left. And like, so it's just it just sort of happened that way. Like, and he was hired in 89, by the way, motherfucking heard. And like it finally just hit rock bottom here because he'd been sucking the roster dry for 2+ years. And then he let Ric Flair walk. And that was it. That was it for the fans. That was it for the critics. That was it for so many people who were like, okay, this motherfucker. And he was fired shortly after. Go ahead, Craig.
And the biggest mistake he made is Ric Flair had the belt, and typically the wrestler that has the belt had to put a $25,000 deposit down on it, which you get it back.
Or if you listen to Ric Flair, $90 billion I put it down.
And Flair wanted the interest because apparently that was part of it. You would get that $25,000 security deposit plus the interest held. And Flair wanted the interest, and Jim Herd didn't want to pay it. And then Flair said, fuck you, and then kept the belt, which was the dumbest thing you could ever do if you're going to walk right into the
And we're going to talk about how more dumb that is when they fucking revealed the belt that they used in the main event. Like, what a fucking pathetic fucking, like, it's bad.
But even without all that, and even with like the morale that must have been bad with this event, having Flair around with Luger in a steel cage would not have saved it, because bell to bell, this is the worst piece of dog shit, match to match to match to match to match to match to match through the entire thing. Even a Sting and Nikita Koloff chain match was insanely stupid and booked terribly. Like, it was absolutely hopeless from bell to bell. And
everything, the order of the card, the specialty matches on the card, all of it was just hot garbage.
All right, July 14th, 1991, in the Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Obviously, we have an attendance rate of 9,300 people.
It beat WrestleMania 3. Everybody knows that.
That's a good show. I mean, almost 10,000 people is a great house. I mean,
it really is.
Right, 100%. 145,000 buys, approximately a 0.2 buy rate. We got Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone on the commentary. Our ring announcer is Gary Michael Capetta. And Eric Bischoff is our interviewer, believe it or not, on his way up the ladder. It's one of those
stupid, sexy
Great
Bischoff.
American Bash is remembered as
he was stupid, sexy Bischoff back here.
Yeah.
Look, match number 1. It's a scaffold match. Whenever someone tells me this is a scaffold match, guys, I never think of good things. It's never.
I'm so fucking excited.
What if I tell you?
I'm so fucking excited. I just love everything that we're doing right now.
What if I tell you
that it's a scaffold match with a 400-pound man on it? Would I change your mind with how awesome it is?
4 guys who don't want to be there at all.
Yeah.
I mean, If there's a 400-pound man on it, Craig,
you haven't
no
said
investment.
you have not even said the participants yet. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
And it has to be first because they had to build the scaffold first, so it had to come down. So that's why it's first.
No, I know. We will get to that, Craig. Yeah. Like, let me tell you, it all molds into the fucking...
All right, it's PN News and Bobby Eaton versus Steve Austin and Terrence Taylor. Look, this makes no sense.
Stone Cold. Let's go, Stone Cold. Let's go. He can fucking...
So, Jim Ross on commentary... this is an F. Jim Ross on commentary. Jim Ross on commentary just talked about how Steve Austin, after just very quickly before this coming in the company, defeating Beautiful Bobby for the World Television title. Whatever you do, don't open the pay-per-view with the rematch for the TV title with stunning Steve Austin and Bobby Eaton. Do a scaffold match for no fucking reason with two mesh teams of Beautiful Bobby and PN News against Steve Austin and Terry Taylor. Whatever you do, don't have a fucking barn burner of a TV title match to kick off your fucking show.
It's Terrence Taylor.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Terrence Taylor.
York Foundation, Terrence Taylor, yeah.
Flag. Now he's got to go back to the other end. Beautiful Bobby has the flag. And there he goes. Beautiful Bobby has the flag. And the team of Beautiful Bobby. Now we're stunning Steve's going. Maybe Lady Blossom. Well, she's handing him something. Wait a second. He has something in his hand, his right hand.
Yeah.
He's the
and also definitely book it before finding out that none of these four guys is going to take a fall from the scaffold.
Right. Or want to be up there. PN News was grabbing the waist of Bobby Eaton the entire time, gripping for his life, like up there. And
he was scared to death.
On top of that, I'll let you talk, but like the announcers, Shivani and Jim Ross, did not know the rules. Bobby Eaton gets the flag. Gets the flag and captures it, and they're like, that'll do it. And then Jim Ross is like, that won't do it. And then they forgot the spot where Lady Blossom had to climb up with the hairspray and spray someone in the face with it. So they fucked that up. Beautiful Bobby ended the match before they did the hairspray spot, which was supposed to be the ending of the match. Everyone's confused, and then they're like, oh no, Bobby has to get it, and then go back to the other side. So someone must have gotten the earpiece and said, go to the other side, go. And so then Bobby goes over, and it ends, no one cheers, the announcer has no idea, and then they just climb down, and then the announcer's like, ladies and gentlemen, the winners are PN News and Beautiful Bobby.
I get that John Travolta moment where he's like,
yes, that meme where he's like, I don't know. It's the worst opening match I've ever seen on a pay-per-view. It really is so bad it gets an A, but it's an F. And then on top of
crowd was hot, instantly dead.
Yeah, instantly dead. And then what they did, it's like they forgot after they did this match that we got to take the scaffold down. So Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross yaddy-daddied for like 20 goddamn minutes about the rest of the card while they were taking this shit down. And they went back to interviews. They just shot over. You have the worst opening match ever, and then you kill the crowd for 20 more minutes while you take down a fucking scaffold. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, Wikipedia's got Diamond Stud versus Tom Zenk.
Yeah, that's the next match.
Just do
Wikipedia. Terrible. Just do Wikipedia, David. It's terrible.
And I will say, at least Scott Hall looked good. I loved seeing him back here, like early Scott Hall. He looked like $1 million, nice gold tights. Yeah, fucking garbage again.
You have the scaffold match. You have this, and I give this match a D probably, only because you have the scaffold match. You waste an hour and a half taking. I'm embellishing, but it felt like an hour and a half of taking the scaffold down, and then you launch into these two guys who are lower mid carders, even though they were kind of trying to push Diamond Stud at this point, obviously with DDP in his corner. And then they were trying to go outside the ring and do things outside the ring and then come in the ring. And then they went back outside the ring and threw each other against the rail. I'm like, this ain't a grudge match, motherfuckers. This is like a worldwide syndicated TV match. Just get it on and get it over with. And then Z-Man didn't even take Stud's finisher, which was the Razor's Edge, even way back here. They call it the Diamond something. DDP called it some bullshit. Diamond.
Yeah, it's like DDD or something. Yeah.
And so they did that, and instead he just beats Tom Zink with a small package. Just fucking let him take the finisher and do that way, and cut the match down by like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Like no wear down holds, no outside ring bullshit. Just have Diamond Stud go over and get the crowd into it, even though he was a heel. But I mean, just have a fucking solid match, like for fuck's sake.
These are two talented guys that can do high flying. They can do whatever style you wanted, and they did some weird clunky fucking go out, come in, wear hold.
It's like they were trying to put on match of the year, and they just weren't equipped at the time to do that.
Yeah.
Like, why? God. So yeah, I give it a D. I don't give it an F because like they tried, but it's like, oh fuck, man. Like, what are we doing?
It was the best.
Page. But wait a minute, from behind is a belly. The back suplex with a bridge. And the Diamond Stud's going to pin the Z-Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Diamond Stud.
It was a case of the power of the Diamond Stud coming through, and when the Z-Man had his attention, turned the opposite way.
It was the best of the next fucking 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. We can just move on because I am caught up, and I apologize. I did look into the wrong place.
David, I edited this shit, so I don't even know what you're saying. You're sorry for.
I'm with you. Hey, match. The next match, Ron Simmons defeated Oz, but the World of the Wizard. That sounds like it. That sounds like an F to me. That sounds like a bona fide F, my friends.
It was like
we've actually watched this. This is in our archives, is it not? Like this whole thing.
No, we talked about Oz. So Oz only debuted like 2 months before, and already they were like, and we're done. And so like they march him out here with Ron Simmons, and they have this pointless match, and then Simmons just ends up beating him. And so like the bloom was off the rose for Oz. Not like it had any right to even be a flower or a rose at any point.
And for the novice, this is Kevin Nash, right? I mean,
Kevin Nash, right? Kevin Nash and Ron Simmons, who would actually go in October to face Lex Luger for the World Heavyweight title in a 2 out of 3 falls match that nobody talks about, and it's good. But yeah, so they were kind of trying to prime Ron Simmons here to get you used to him winning. So in 2 months or whatever, he could challenge Luger for the heavyweight title, who Luger had, spoiler, he wins the title later this night. But yeah, this match was a D. Like, Nash was so fucking green. Kevin Sullivan was the wizard in the mask and everything. And he was just awful. Like, everything was so awful. And yeah, they cut down his entrance because like 2 months before when he debuted, it was this whole fucking stage of the Castle of Oz or whatever it was. And no, they were just done with him here. They're just like, get him out there, let Simmons beat him. And that was it. Yeah. But the match was short and stupid.
Yeah.
Quite well. Down in that football stance. Tremendous impact by the former All-American. That's the second one. He nails the Wizard, who was up on the apron. Simmons moving those feet. Shoulder block right in the solar plexus. Can Oz withstand 3 of them? No, he can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the All-American Ron Simmons.
Can I just ask a question?
Please.
Yeah.
Why does Richard Morton and Robert Gibson get 17?
So there's another one. There's a fucking another one. So the culmination of the Rock and Roll Express.
Why are you so excited about
one of the most over tag teams in the 80s finally they face each other. All they needed was a barbershop, if you catch my drift. And like this was the original breakup of the Rockers, which didn't happen until a year after this, by the way. So like this was their blow-off feud. And because the whole problem, by the way, is Ricky Morton ended up joining the York Foundation and turning earlier on Robert Gibson, who had a legit knee injury, who had to go out for a while. So they attacked his knee, they put him out for a while, and then he comes back, and then now they're having their feud, the Rock and Roll Express explode. So they did this whole thing. But the thing is, though, is that Ricky Morton is the best babyface of the two. He is notorious for selling and being the best babyface ever. The signature of the Rock and Roll Express for all those years was Ricky Morton reaching out to the crowd, the women going insane in 1984, 5, 6, 7. And like Rock and Roll Express were just the hottest fucking tag team, except for the Road Warriors, like that there was in the 80s. And it's insane. So then in 1991, they're not the same anymore. You know, Jim Hurt has depleted this roster, and you make Gibson the babyface, who is not the best babyface out of the two. So you try to make Ricky Morton a heel, which makes no sense. And he comes out, and the only difference he has a fucking ponytail. He wears the Rock and Roll Express garb. He wears the Rock and Roll Express everything. It makes no sense. And then they go on to have a 1985 match where he works on the knee in 1991 in a card that started off with a scaffold match, which put everyone to bed for the 25 minutes that they took the scaffold down, which further put people to sleep with Tom Zink and Razor Ramon, and also put people to sleep with Oz and Ron Simmons. And then they go with this feud that Gibson never even wore an ounce of anger on his face. His partner turned on him, one of the greatest teams ever, and they didn't show any of that emotion in this match. It was just a back and forth match where he hurt Gibson's knee and Gibson was limping on the knee the whole match trying to do it. It was unnecessarily long. It was a D. Like, this is the Rock and Roll. This should be your blood feud. Like, I'm not saying they were able to bleed here, but this should be like this. Gibson is fucking mad at Morton and you fucking turned on me and we were fucking none of that emotion was here at all because the best babyface you were trying to make a heel and put him with York family. It just didn't make any sense. Go ahead, Craig.
The computer, the referee's talking to York. Martin's got the computer right on the back of his head. Martin's got him wrapped up. The computer was the difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, representing the York Foundation, is Richard Morton.
Yeah, no, I give it a D. It was the most unmemorable, fast-forwardable. Like these guys were two of the fittest, fastest, most innovative like wrestlers in the world together, and they had the most boring, fucking wear-down hold-filled, slowest, plottingest, just piece of shit match I've ever seen for like a.
I will say though, at the end when
dream match of this,
Ricky used the laptop or whatever, the computer, to hit Gibson over the head, and that's how he got the pin. The referee totally looking at him, by the way, when he did it, and then like he goes over and a fan threw his whole fucking popcorn in the ring, and I just belly laughed. It's the silliest shit, and it wasn't because he was mad because Ricky Morton's such a great heel. It's because he had enough already of this show. Like that fan just had it. So he's like, there's more of this show, and I just say no to it. Yeah. So what's the next match, Dave? I'm so sorry.
Dustin Rhodes and the Young Pistols, Jess.
Pew pew.
Tracy Smothers and Steve Armstrong defeated the fabulous Freebirds of Michael Hayes, Jimmy Garvin, and Bad Street with Big Daddy Dink in attendance.
So
17 minutes. Fail it. Just fail it right now.
No, this match was a B-. Like this saved the show for me. The Fabulous Freebirds are goddamn professionals. That's all I know. And this card was dead. And when they walked out there and after the music came off and everybody was facing each other, all Jimmy Garvin and him had to do was look at the crowd and be like, shut the fuck up. And the crowd's like, no, you shut the fuck up. Like, and they just like, everything that the Freebirds did was just, they're goddamn professionals. Like, they didn't do flashy moves ever. And all Jimmy Garvin had to do was kick someone in the head and look at the camera and be like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And like, he kept doing that. And I was laughing every time. And that's all he had to do to cut them off. And the entire time, the crowd was the most alive in this match they had been all night because of the Freebirds. And by the way, there were Armstrongs everywhere. Under the mask, Bad Street is Brad Armstrong. That was Brad Armstrong. His brother is on the Young Pistols. And they had Tracy Smothers. They had the best workers. And Dustin Rhodes was so green. It didn't matter, though. Like, they had a great 6-man tag match. Then they booked all the falls happening one after another, which woke me up because I was just like, this is a terrible card, which I already knew. And then like, but the crowd was up on this. And then Dustin does a fucking cool ass, like, he hits Bad Street with the Bulldog. While he's in mid-Bulldog, he kicks Big Daddy Dink, that fat fucker, right out of the ring, and which is he was Sir Oliver Humperdinck, by the way. He kicks him out of the ring at the same time that he's doing the Bulldog and gets the pin. This was the most alive the crowd was all night, and I'm only giving it a B- because it's a solid match. Like, it's an actual pro wrestling match that I'm like, fucking finally. Like, you have talented people in here. They worked the crowd. The Freebirds saved the night, even though the night was still lost after this. I don't mean like they saved the pay-per-view. They just, at least I was like, dude.
They gave you something.
After I was like, finally something that I could grade and talk about. Like, it's just it was fine. It was a solid 6-man elimination tag match. Like, it was just nicely done. Like, it was not designed to be match of the night. It, I think, probably ended up being that. Like, which is so fucking sad and pathetic. But like, good. There was some just good stuff in here. Freebirds made me laugh. Go ahead, Craig. Sorry.
Yeah.
Irish whip. Oh, bulldog! And he dropped him, Big Daddy Deke, simultaneously. What a move! Up the leg, and it's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bash being eliminated. Therefore, the winners of the match, the team of the Young Pistols and the Natural, Dustin Rhodes.
What? That was a tremendous matchup. And when it was 2-1.
Yeah, I'm giving it a C-. It was fine. It ended with, Dustin and fucking Bad Street, which is like the worst, like, wacky neon painted black, like, masked stranger
he was the worst
kind of
mask
thing.
guy ever.
You guys ready for automatic F?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
The Yellow Dog defeated Johnny B. Bag by DQ.
So stupid. So stupid.
DQ.
Like,
DQ it, bro.
Tell me how a Brian Pillman and Johnny B. Bad match couldn't be good. It wasn't good.
It's a total F. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. And then they had the whole gimmick where he lost to Wyndham in a Lee's WCW match, and then he comes because Dusty Rhodes used to do the Dirty Rider or something Rider back in the
Midnight
territory
Rider.
days. Yeah, Midnight Rider. He lost a loser leaves territory match, and then all of a sudden the Midnight Rider, who just as fat as Dusty Rhodes, like, and all that came about, and he's like, I'm the Midnight Rider. So Dusty said, why don't we do that with Pillman? He'll lose a leaves WCW match to Barry Windham, and then he'll come back as the Yellow Dog, baby. And so it's fucking terrible. And
Wasn't there a Midnight Rider song?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. And it was a bad match on top of Dave's point of it's a fucking shitty DQ. This should have been a TV match that just forwarded the storyline, but instead they made me pay for it and put it on a pay-per-view. It's an F. It's a thunderous F. It's garbage. You just wasted Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman. You wasted him. What are you doing? What are you doing?
They could not click at all. Like I imagine this might have been one of the first times.
Did you see how much Johnny B. Bad was talking, Craig? Like, he kept talking to Brian Pillman all the time. Every time he put Pillman against the ropes to Irish whip him, he's like, and then I said, no, you said that. And I was like, nah, you go, girl. And no, and the whole fucking time I'm like, dude, he's fucking like having a conversation with Pillman against the ropes before he Irish whips him. Every time that he would stand Pillman up, he would have a conversation, not a word, a conversation with Brian Pillman. It was awful.
And it was Johnny B. Bad's first pay-per-view. It was like ultra Johnny B. Bad, like super makeup and super everything. Yeah, God damn, it was awful. Two of the best guys in the business just having an absolute stinker.
Yeah. Yellow Dog goes up top. Crossbody press. Can he hook the leg? He's trying to. There's Theodore long in. Now that's going to cause a disqualification.
He doesn't care. He wants the mask off. He wants to collect the bounty right here. It's money.
Yellow Dog. Almost an Air Pillman-like maneuver on Theodore. And there's a left.
Yeah, so fucking bad.
6 minutes, short, but still awful.
Dave, please keep going, because I know you're getting to one that is my favorite. Go, please, God.
What do you mean, Big Josh?
This is bad too. This is an F as well. But
Big Josh back Black Blood. It's a lumberjack. 5 minutes.
A lumberjack match, and Bad Blood, by the way, is Billy Jack Haynes. If you don't know, that's Billy,
wow.
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that.
A very out of shape on drugs, Billy Jack Haynes.
Yeah, he's a big fat.
Yeah, it was fucking awful. And it had to be a lumberjack match for no fucking reason. There's no reason why this is a lumberjack match. It was fucking terrible. And they ended it when he got that fake plastic axe and he tried to murder Big Josh in the ring. And then Dustin Rhodes had a baseball bat, and hits him in the side.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Please.
Yeah, you need
to.
For
the purposes of what we talked about in the beginning of...
No, Dave, this is just as good as what Vince does. This is just as good. Like, this is what they thought.
But when you cut cost, Jets, you don't bring every wrestler out.
I gotta save the money to Black Blood.
But then you pay them on a lumberjack because they're all out there. You got to pay all of them on the outside of the ring.
Over there, they have Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then here we have Big Josh. Same. And then we have Black Blood. and they have the Road Warriors. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
No, same. But why do you have same? Why you have same on the outside of the ring doing lumberjack work? Where I don't want to pay them $1,000.
No, they're doing it for free. They're just around. You know, fucking.
Here. Blackblood's got that axe. Now look, it's a nice prop to bring to the ring. Hey guys, oh, Dustin Rhodes with the axe handle right to the knee. Blackblood had an injured knee. Big Josh has got an inside cradle, and he's got to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Big Josh.
Can we just move forward quickly and say
Please.
every El Gigante match is an F?
Yeah, this is the one I want. Say it out loud, Dave. I want you. What match is this?
El Gigante defeated One Man Gang.
But before you start,
6
Jess,
minutes.
talk about the pre-match interview on the ramp too.
Ooh,
That was
Because you have Kevin Sullivan with One Man Gang and like eyeliner doing like an awful like spiritual or like
It's
a
awful.
pre-Dungeon of Doom.
And One Man Gang didn't have the mohawk, correct? He had like the crazy hair. Like he had his hair because he was a Keem. And then Vince finally let him go. And the WCW was like, well, we'll hire you as a one-man gang. He's like, awesome. I'm not doing the mohawk. They're like, we don't give a shit. Like at all. And then Jim Herd's like, well, I mean, we're only going to pay you like probably $50 a night. He's like, I got no other place to go. So I'll come and fight your El Gigante Big Giant. And it was awful. And not only, it wasn't good selling by the one-man gang. And I like the one-man gang. I like Hakeem. I think he's a good guy. If you watch his shoot interviews, he's a really fucking cool guy. But the thing is like he thought he could just sell, but really it was just a heavy guy that's way past his prime, super wobbly. And I didn't trust anything that he did, and he's just trying to sell for El Gigante, and it was awful. It's an F-, and I rarely give F-. It's an F-. This match is so trash and garbage, and just
Craig.
That's powder or salt or something. Oh, he kicked it right in his face. El Gigante with a clothesline from behind. That substance went right in the eyes of the one-man gang, and El Gigante has won it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, El Gigante.
And you have it's absolute F. And not only that, do you have two just guys absolutely stinking it up in the ring. Literally Kevin Sullivan on the apron trying to interfere every 10 seconds.
Yes.
And El Gigante doesn't turn around for him or goes to attack him.
Or
Doesn't know whether he should attack him.
Like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, or doesn't acknowledge him. It's just Kevin Sullivan being Kevin Sullivan. And poor El Gigante, you can see he had a look. If he could have had any sort of coordination and some time, you could. There was some, but he's just so bad. This whole thing is so bad. Everything was so bad.
So
from Kevin,
great.
From Kevin Sullivan's like, are you demonic? Are you just wearing fucking mascara? Are you? You're like. Well, who the fuck are you doing?
At this point, I didn't want anything to save the card. So the worse the match has got, I'm like, thank God it's still just getting worse.
Keep it going.
Yeah. All right.
Now, there's no excuse before the next match, David, before we announce it, there's no excuse why this shouldn't have been incredible.
This should have been the best match.
It's Sting.
When you read
Russian
it,
chain.
Nikita Koloff defeats Sting in a Russian chain match in just under 12 minutes. That sounds incredible.
And it made sense, by the way. So the feud started back in May when they had Super Brawl 1, and they had a tag match. Nikita was feuding with Luger for the U.S. title. And then he runs down, and it was a match, Luger and Sting against the Steiner brothers, which is a great match. And so so Nikita runs down at the end of it and is trying to hit Luger with the chain wrapped around his arm. And then Sting sees him coming and pushes Luger out of the way and takes the chain. That kicks off this feud. So the chain match makes 100% sense. And I like it, and I like the build-up to this match. And then they just fucking get hokey with the ending, the shitty fucking four corners thing. And they didn't bleed, and maybe they couldn't at this point in their defense, but it just should have been more of a vicious... Again,
I thought the same thing.
It's like the Rock and Roll Express feud.
Sting is wearing white tights. It's a Russian change match. None of these dudes bled.
Yeah.
It
doesn't make any sense.
And Not to mention, and this, I'm going to give this a D because the entire thing, like, so it's all based again, and I hate strap matches if they're not done right with 4 corners kind of stuff.
Yes.
Because it has to stop when you break the momentum. But the entire ending of this match and most of it dealt with not stopping the momentum and still being able to tap corners. And the ending was so clunky and fucking stupid and awful.
It was up. You wasted Nikita and Sting and a good feud, a really potentially good feud. And I give it a C. Like, I was just like, dude, like, how is this not? I thought the 6-man was better than this. Like, I was, again, it resembled a pro wrestling match, and I believed in it, like, at that point.
He is in control at this point in time. Sting, they got it. Koloff is a judgment call. Koloff beat him. He was on the inside. Koloff's going to win the match. It's like a bang-bang play at home, and Koloff is safe.
You're exactly right, Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff.
Here's why. Here's what we're going to get into. When I call this match on its face, it sounds good, but it's fucked because, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Lex Luger defeated Barry Windham in a steel cage match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. However, in 12 minutes and just under 30 seconds, it's fucked because it's a vacant title and Flair left just under 2 weeks before. And if you had built up to a Lex Luger Barry Windham title match, that sounds awesome. Does it not sound awesome? I mean,
and by the way, so really quick too,
pivot.
Barry Windham was in what ended up being the last match. It was supposed to be Anderson and Windham and Paulie against the Steiner brothers and Missy. Scott tore his bicep, so he couldn't be in there.
Jesus
and then they
Christ.
ended up taking Windham out to put him in here with Luger, which is why that match still wouldn't have been good, to just be honest.
Right.
Like, even with the Steiners in it, it doesn't matter. It would have sucked. But at the same time, like, that's why they put Windham in there. That's all he could do. Instead of just saying, like, you know what, like, let's put somebody else in there against Luger. I don't know who. I don't say you don't waste Sting. But at the same, I don't know who you do, but you just pull Windham out, and I guess he was the most capable guy. Like, they couldn't figure anybody else out to put in there with Luger. And the thing is what my big question always was on this match was Luger going to turn even with Flair there? So if Flair made it, was he going to turn and have Harley in his corner? Or did they decide, like, after Flair left, like, okay, we need a heel, like, so Luger, you're going to be heel. Like, because I think it fucks Luger's, like, Luger should have won that title as a face and went out with the whole crowd chanting his name and him holding the big gold belt up because he had been fighting for 3 years like Sting had against Flair. That Luger deserved that at that time, but instead he was mega bloated. Luger, by the way, is fucking huge. Like, Luger was fucking goddamn huge.
285, 290.
Yeah, he was fucking monstrous here. And so there's so many questions. I'm like, was the same ending going to happen? Did Jim Herd know he was going to lose Flair anyway? So he was just like, you're not the bad guy anymore. Luger's going to turn on you and make you look stupid. And, like, you know, and win the title, but turn heel and get Race. Because Race and Flair had a lot of history together. So would Race have just came down and turned, like, punched Flair and whatever? So, like, I think that no matter what, I think Luger was going to be this Luger. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. And I didn't do enough research to go back and see if there was any shoot interviews with Luger that talked about it or whatever. But it was just like, they just created this heel out of their second most popular guy besides Sting. You just make him.
Race was a master of the pile driver. Harley Race said now is the time. He's got him up on a pile driver. And there he planted him. Luger with the pile driver. He's hooked the leg. And Luger wins it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and new WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the Total Package,
Lex Luger has won.
Final thing, which is just total anger.
And by the way, this was not so. Luger wins the world title. The belt that they used was a regional championship that Dusty pulled out of his fucking literal closet,
like a Florida championship wrestling.
And they
belt.
got a flat, no design on it, but like gold plate that they fucking riveted to the fucking belt, and they put WCW heavyweight title. They couldn't even in 2 weeks figure out a way to get a replica or some other fucking bullshit. Or I guess they couldn't get big. NWA didn't let them use the 7 pounds of gold, the original one, but they couldn't figure out anything. They couldn't get an old tag title. They couldn't do anything. They just fucking got a regional belt that Dusty had in his literal closet. I'm not shitting you. Like, he pulled it out of his closet, and they're like, put a bowling trophy, put a bowling plaque over the top of it. Luger was U.S. champion here. And so, like, they didn't mention that at all, hardly ever. And so Luger could have won the match, held up the U.S. title, and then they could have, in 2 weeks, they could have at least came up with this. Lex Luger next week or the next Clash of the Champions that we're going to do next month.
Belt presentation.
We're going to have a belt presentation for him, like, or whatever. And like, that's all they had to do. But instead, Dusty's like, I have this bowling trophy in my closet. I'm just going to bring it, and then we're going to put straps on it. And he's going to wear a trophy around his waist with a belt that holds my pants up. Like, that's really fucking all it was. It was awful. It's awful. And I feel bad for Luger. Right. Luger did not deserve this. He didn't. He really didn't.
No, he didn't.
They don't. Can we just talk about the fact?
Here's the main event, Dave. The main event of the goddamn show.
The main event. I'm just gonna ask you a question.
Sure.
What took longer? Setting up the steel cage or the actual steel cage match?
Oh my God, setting it up. Yeah.
You spent how many minutes setting up a steel cage for a 2 fucking minute steel cage match for a main event? I mean, I get it. They had to pivot. Just fucking scrap it. What are you doing?
Well, the Luger and Wyndham was also in the cage, so it was already set up. But it's still the time to set up. Like, the cage was there and set up, but it did take longer to set it up for Luger and Wyndham than it did this match, for sure.
God.
Yeah, they had the taking down of the scaffold in the beginning, and then the setting up of the cage matches before Luger. It's just awful. And then, to your point, this was supposed to be Rick and Scott and Missy Hyatt against Paul E., Wyndham, and Anderson. They yanked Wyndham out of this match to put him in the the semi-main event with Luger for the world title. And then Scott tore his bicep because the Hardliners attacked him like a week before. They had to
just scrap it.
So it ended up being, you're totally correct. It ended up being Arn Anderson and Paulie against Missy and Rick Steiner, and it was fucking awful and atrocious. And then, to Craig's point, the State Athletic Commission came and said, "You're not doing a man versus woman fight, are you?" Well, I mean, wrestling's fake, and yes, they're like, no, we're keeping the illusion that this is real. You cannot have a man and a woman face each other. So they couldn't do anything. So they still put this match on last. And like, it was just the worst ending to the worst pay-per-view I've ever seen. Like,
just how scared he really is right now. Rick Steiner with a handful of the vastly receding hairline from Paul Lee. He's got him up. He slams him. Is it Steiner line time? Oh, Steiner line! Paul Lee was Steiner line, and Rick Steiner pins Paul Lee dangerously.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the team of Missy Hyatt and Rick Steiner.
Like, it is just so brilliant. And I don't have to, I mean, I if I have to grade it, Luger and Wyndham was a C, and this match was an F-. Like, again, just like the Elegante.
I can't even imagine a worse, like you said, a worse pay-per-view than what we're witnessing.
It is right so beautiful, and it really is. And I've been so excited all week, like, that they finally released this, and you guys got to share this with me, and I love it. And this is the worst WCW pay-per-view I've ever seen.
Crazy.
And
there's
worse ones in 2000. Right? I do enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
There's worse pay-per-views in 2000. WCW 2000 was pretty fucking bad. A lot of pay-per-views. And Uncensored 95 was bad. Starrcade 94. Yeah. But this is still probably the worst shit I've ever seen.
God damn it. Can we just end this, please? This is fucking...
I don't ever want it to end. Is that wrong?
I gotta...
Yeah, I think it's the best.
Shit to do.
I'm gonna edit it. It's fine, but it's the greatest night of my life, and I just enjoy that you guys had to watch it, and your eyes were poisoned, and It really is probably still the worst WCW pay-per-view ever, even though there was, but like at least Uncensored 95 was actually slickly produced because Bischoff was doing production at that point, and it at least just finished at an appropriate time. And there was no garbage that went on past, like, why did this garbage go on for 30 minutes? Like, I never had said that. And that, Starrcade 94, yes, the main event was Hogan against Brutus Beefcake. I get it. But like, at the same time, I'm like, I still felt all of that flowed better than this shit. This just never ended. And then they made it worse by going like, we're going to put up a structure and then take it down live on TV. And it's like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you putting up a scaffold, taking it down, and then putting up a cage?
And they tried that opening camera move, and like the ring aprons look sharp, the lighting looked good. They had the staging with Oz and the fireworks.
The crowd
it's like they thought this was going to be good, and it was fucking dog shit.
So bad. Okay, anyway, Dave, I'm so sorry.
Bell to bell.
I guess I got to say good night. Fuck. I don't want it to end.
David, Michael.
Let's review it again. Let's review it again and see if the grades change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
every week until like we like it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it every week, dude. July. You guys will keep watching this.
For audio fans, give us on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. For a video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel. And look to your left for several other options that just provides you. And please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019.
Don't follow.
Myself,
this is my greatest moment.
Pay-per-view ever. But the O.W.P sign off.
USA.
At least.
WCW. 1991.
WCW.
At least they're in the knockout rounds, Craig. USA is moving on, but they're gonna fail there too. Sounds about right. Have a good one.